Hello, welcome to the 10th of 80 days for Healing on the Middle Passage. There's a fan going, it's really hot in here, so excuse me if you can hear that fan, but I need that fan because it is burning up and I sweat profusely when I get warm. So, either way, thank you so much for tuning in today. This is the 10th of 80 days of lives that I will be doing to pay homage to my ancestors who came to the Americas from Africa. Today and every day, I honor you for taking the trip from Africa to the Americas, for staying alive, for surviving living in squalor, for surviving eating terrible food, for not choosing to jump off the ship to avoid being a slave, for choosing to endure the trials in America, for being taken away from your family, for being forced to reproduce when you didn't want to. Thank you for your sacrifice so I can go after my dreams today. I know that I've been called and that you've called upon me to heal the wounds inflicted on our lineages. And I am answering the call as a healer by showing others how to heal themselves so they can answer their calling. Okay, today we're going to be talking about how mother and father wounds affect your ability to show up as a leader, how they affect your self image. So perhaps you feel like you would be further along if you were able to connect with more people, but your body image plays a role in how you connect and how you present yourself and how you help people, especially if you are someone that's climbing the career ladder or if you have a business, online business, brick and mortar business, and you're like, okay, I want to build those connections. I want to build that relationship, that like, no trust relationship. However, the way you present yourself is based off of how you view yourself. So perhaps you feel like people judge you, and these are the people that you want to help, but they're like, but in your head, you're like, okay, they're judging me because of how I look. And perhaps it makes you think, who are you to tell people how to better themselves, how to better their lives when you still have this image of yourself? And perhaps you feel like your body is related to your currency. So how you feel is that the way you look is directly proportional to how much money you can potentially make. And if your body doesn't fit a certain image, how can you be a credible source of information? How can people trust you? So, this type of thinking can cause you to camp in your head. It can cause you to overthink. Perhaps you have self doubt that creeps in. Perhaps that causes you to go down to the perfectionist route. Perhaps that causes you to go down the comparisonitis route. And maybe your wheels start to turn and it causes you to be extremely hypercritical of yourself. Now, this happens because your mother and father wounds may have caused you to judge yourself very harshly, even when it comes to your body and the way that you love your body and the way you portray yourself to the world. Now, when it comes to the mother and father wound, I want you to also keep this in mind. I told you I was going to talk to you about this yesterday, and I'm going to talk to you about this today. Because I said I was going to say it. I said yesterday, but this is a point I was going to bring up today. So I'm bringing it up. When it comes to the mother and father wound, keep in mind that there are multiple perspectives that you have cultivated with respect to your parental lineages. So you may have a perspective of how your mother and father was in your upbringing and how that has drastically evolved since your childhood. You now may have a perspective of your parentals that is completely different than what you were exposed to and what you experienced as a child. So you have the one that you experienced as a child, you have the one that you have cultivated now as an adult, and then you have another one. So you have three different perspectives. Okay, it's just kind of mind blowing when I start to do some more research on this. You have the perspective of the grandmother archetype. You have the perspective of the grandfather archetype, and how these archetypes play into how you mother and father yourself. So, the grandmother archetype is how you nurture yourself, how you allow your feelings to flow. How do you feel valued? How do you love yourself? The grandfather archetype is how you go after certain goals and aspirations. Perhaps your confidence and self esteem. Perhaps also how you create stability and security for yourself, how you create a foundation. All of these play a role and how your self-image is cultivated. So in the essence of fathering yourself and building that sense of security, how's this perspective made you feel around your body? How is this sense of security now having a ripple effect in how your self-image is around your body? Now with the mother archetype, let's ask it again. How is the mother archetype having a perspective now, and how that plays a role in your self-image for your body? Perhaps there's been feelings that are associated with cultural norms or societal norms, because though there is a difference between that, how your culture views your body can be different from the society that you are currently in, and how that plays a role in how you view your body, and how that plays a role in your security for your body, and how you love your body, and how this creates an idealistic image of what beauty is, and how that creates a portrayal of what you may or may not have as a leader and your ability to help people. So we're going to use my EAT method: evaluate, accept, align, and transcend. Ego. For evaluate your ego, accept your shadow, align your body, and transcend the soul. So know that your destructive ego will position your body as either inferior or superior in comparison to others. If you feel your body is not the ideal image, you may position others ahead of you or above you. And this is when your ego will create two separate roles. So you have your role in this particular relationship. You'll have the role that you have created for that person, okay? And you will position yourself in according to how you have created those roles, okay? So you may perceive yourself to be a lesser leader than someone else just because of body image, and your ego will cause you to have, you know, behaviors that will um, emulate that thought. Now, the constructive ego will find ways to enhance your body image for survival. Because I don't believe you don't need an ego. Like, I don't believe that. I believe you need, like, your whole purpose is to survive, but to make that survival more efficient. So, your constructive ego will find ways to enhance your body image for survival. Ultimately, once again, the ego wants to survive. So, how can you have gratitude and utilize the qualities that you have to enhance your chances of survival with your body image? So, for example, I have like slightly bigger eyes, I feel like. So sometimes, I use that to my advantage. I make sure I'm looking straight in the camera when I'm talking to people, let's say when I'm doing a story. Okay, I use that part of me to my advantage. So people can look me straight in the eyes. And I've had people in the DM say, your eyes say something to me. I'm drawn to that. So utilize certain parts of your body to once again stand out and enhance your means of survival. Okay, let's move forward. Accept the shadow. How are you allowing your hidden fears of your body to make you hide yourself? Okay, so what are you doing to stay hidden because of how you perceive your body? This is your shadow, and I need you to start being honest with yourself when it comes to this. Like, for example, I know that I hide certain parts of my body, especially being a mother of two, because of stretch marks. It's just what it is. I know that I do that. I have a little bit of a fupa, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about when I say fupa. Like, I have one, and I've been working on it, but I know that that part of me is something that I hide, and I do it strategically with one of the things that I wear because of how it makes me feel. A little bit of shame, Be honest with yourself. What parts of your body are you hiding, and how does that play into how you show up as a leader? Now, align the body. Now, this is different from accept the body and with the shadow. This is align the body, because how you your body and the trauma that your body has absorbed affects its behavior in an outside world as well. So, that being said, how can you create more flow in the body? How can you recondition the body to be more comfortable in its own skin? How can you create more movement? So remember, stagnancy in one area of your life will create a ripple effect of stagnancy or non-movement in other areas of your life. So create movement in your body, and then notice how movement will start to percolate in different areas of your life as well. You can also create visuals of how you interact when you are being seen as a leader. Start to project certain images and step into those images. One of the things that I do, especially when I listen to like a silver meditation, I'll create like an image above my third eye or forehead area, like just right here, and then I'll like zap that image with a whole bunch of like really beautiful positive energy, you know, joy, empowerment, love, you know, all of that, and then I will step into it. And as I step into it, I make sure I hold that image for at least 17 seconds. It activates the reticular activating system of your brain, so that way it solidifies that memory of you stepping into that image as if it's already happened, because the brain doesn't know the difference. And then it starts to make my body align to what I created in that image. So start doing things like that. Create a beautiful image and have your body align to that image that you've created. Transcend. So we did evaluate, accept, align, and transcend. Ooh, let me hurry up because I think the battery's going to go. Transcend. How is your soul inviting you to solve this problem visually? You don't have to wait until you have your goal body to be comfortable in your body. How do you see yourself doing what leaders do now in the body that you're in now? Okay, so we did the evaluate, accept, align, and transcend of my EAT method. So you can go from surviving to thriving by answering those questions that I just said. Okay, so go back, listen to those, especially if you have body image thoughts and feelings that come up. Is when you're being called to be a leader and you know that, and you know you're ready to touch more lives, you know you're ready to make an impact, you know that you're ready to create generational wealth, you know you want to feel confident in your skin, you know this in your heart, in your being, but it's like how you see yourself is the biggest obstacle right now. Go back and do those questions. Okay, now I had this like idea today, and I was like, wait, let's just do it. So I'm doing, to honor, number one, the 80 days that my ancestors and that a lot of our ancestors were on the Middle Passage. I'm doing an 80-day a session for every single day that that my ancestors were on the Middle Passage. So 80 days, 80 sessions, 80 total sessions. So if you'd like a session with me, and you know that you're someone that perhaps has some mother and father wounds, and you see how those mother and father wounds are zapping or eating up your time, eating up your resources, eating up your energy, eating up your money in terms of how you relate with your relationships and how you are cultivating yourself as a leader and self actualizing your gifts and how you show up for yourself and how you're able to attract the type of people you want in your sphere for your business, for your career. If you see these things having a ripple effect in all areas of your life and you're ready to change that, you're ready to elevate past that, you're ready to do the healing so that way you can become the leader that you know you're called to be, the the leader that your soul is calling you to be, then you have to do the mother and father wound healing. So I suggest that you have a session with me and make sure that you do the steps that I give you in the session. You'll get pre-work so that way you can get the most out of the session. You'll get post-work so you can just extract as much value as possible, and you will get the groundwork that you need to start taking the steps towards self-actualizing your gifts, building more mutually beneficial relationships so you can start becoming and embodying energetically the leader that your business or career is calling you to be. I will give you a PDF, and you'll have a whole bunch of value, so that way you can continue doing the work and taking the micro steps every day to create the micro shifts that will eventually accumulate into macro shifts that get you where you want to go. Okay? So go ahead and schedule a session with me and send me a DM so that way I know that you're interested, and we will start the session and get you started. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for listening to day 10 of Healing on the Middle Passage. We have 70 days to go, but wow, 10 days literally passed. And if I can do 10, I could do 7 more stints of 10. So thank you for listening to this. I appreciate you, and I send you so much love.